When I take my players out on the golf course, I give them 3 rules to follow before they hit their driver shots, fairway wood shots, and the short game shots. And it really helps improve their contact, the direction that they hit the shots, and ultimately it helps them lower their scores. Now, what I thought I'd do is I share those rules with you, but in a way that would be more beneficial by bringing you along to play a hole with me. So we're going to start on the tee shots, we're going to move to the fairway shots here, and then we're going to get around the greens. I promise you, this is going to be super, super valuable. It's going to help you shoot lower scores. Now, before I get into the video, look, if you're new to the channel, so your first lessons of mine, please consider subscribing. At least videos like this every single week to try and help you improve your game. Plus, as you know, you never have to remember a thing. I'll always put a free download practice guide in the description box below. So rule number 1, and this exists in all great players. I want you, when you stood behind this golf ball here, to picture the shot you want to hit, right? Where's it going to land on the fairway? Now, here's a little trick. Great players make this picture detailed. They almost visualize a shot tracer flying through the air and landing where the ball's going to land. Now, from my experience, when people stood on that first tee, they don't have really many images. They might say, oh, I'm aiming up there somewhere, so somewhere up the middle. Then they might be concerned of not embarrassing themselves or making a fool of themselves or just please make contact. These images that you're creating are not detailed enough. They're not clear enough. So when you're playing, all I want you to do, rule number 1, pick the spot in the fairway you want to hit. Visualize a shot tracer going towards that target. Simple as that. Bring that shot tracer all the way back to the golf ball. And that's going to become really important very shortly. Once you've done that, then what you do, rule number 2, you set yourself up to play that shot. So I'm visualizing here a beautiful shot that's going nice and high with a little draw. What does that look like here? Well, ball position, if I want to go high, off my lead heel, my sternum with driver, right? Different with the irons, we're going to go that into a second. All I'm going to do here is look, tip forward, so this sternum here is pointing towards my lead heel. That's my setup with driver. Now what I'm doing is my knees, my hips, my shoulders are all lined up to hit on that shot tracer right there. This is the value of having the shot tracer in place. Now it's the moment of truth. You're about to hit the golf ball. So rule number 3 now comes in, and watch what I do here. I get myself set. I'm now gonna base it with my eyes from the ball all the way. I'm gonna follow that shot tracer all the way back to my target, all the way back to my golf ball here, and maybe trace that with my eyes backwards and forwards. Now, why is this important? Well, it feels now that the target isn't way out there in the distance and unachievable. I'm thinking to myself, all I've got to do, look, is set that ball off here. If that ball sets off in this little zone here, almost through this window, I'm thinking, well, it's going to be on target. But if I start looking out there, hoping I'm going to hit the fairway out there, that feels overwhelming. So I'm looking here, I'm using my eyes, tracing that spot backwards and forward, back to the golf ball here. And now I'm thinking, I'm going to smack that ball really hard through a little window here. I personally think that's so much easier and achievable. So get myself set. Don't waste too much time on this. See that window, trace that ball backwards from the ball back to the target, and away we go. So this 18th at Canterbury is a 498-yard par 5. Now I'm probably still going to have maybe even a fairway wood in, and I'm going to show you now how I approach fairway woods slightly differently to the driver. It's going to be super helpful. So I didn't hit the laser straight drive that I was hoping for, and that's absolutely fine. It doesn't happen all the time, does it? But I still want to follow the same rules, but with a few little tweaks for the fairway shot. So here, for instance, I've got 164 yards to that bunker. Now, it's a par 5 this. Now, I can't clearly get to the green because of these trees. I put myself out of position. So I'm choosing a 9-9 to make sure I'm short of that bunker on the left-hand side, which is, about to say 164 yards to get in it. Now, all I'm going to do now is I'm going to, again, take that shot tracer, pick the spot, draw the line back, right? Now what I'm going to do, unlike the driver, I'm going to have a narrow stance. The club ball position now is going to be 1 club width inside of my lead heel. Now from here, now I've got myself set up. Notice how my shoulders are more level than they were with the driver. Why? Because I want a more downward strike on this ball. So I've got ball position in place, I've got my shoulders in place, and now what am I going to do? Rule number 3, I'm going to picture that spot. I've got the shot tracer, I'm going to move the eyes all the way back and all the way back again, and then as I make this swing, I'm going to picture that ball just simply traveling a few feet this way on that shot tracer. This area becomes my target, not really out there. If I hit this hard enough, the ball will simply just take and land exactly where I want it to land. So let's have a look at this. So get myself set, got my shot tracer, move it back to the golf ball here, and away we go. That's beautiful. Okay, back in play, and gives me a great chance to knock it on in 3 and hopefully still make the birdie. So I was hoping to show you a fairway wood shot, but we'll do that at the end of the video. Just let's keep with this hole at the moment and following the same 3 rules. So I've got 115 yards to the back of the green, and I don't want to, that's what the adage I'm looking at, because the flag's right at the back. I don't want to go too big. So I'm going to focus on picturing the shot that lands short of the flag. Very, very important. Now I've chosen a 52 here because I want to do this really, really smoothly. My 56 could get there, but I don't want to be hitting incredibly hard and losing control. So I've gone 52. Now the setup, I've visualized obviously the shot tracer from the ball back to the hole, back again, right? There's the shot tracer. And now setting myself up accordingly. This time, unlike a full iron shot, I've got 2 club widths between my heels here. And the ball position, look, is set right now in the middle of my stance. From here, again, shoulders nice and level. All I'm doing now is I'm looking at the ball and I'm tracing that shot tracer back to the target, back to the ball. And once I've done that once or twice, I don't waste any time. I just think nice and smooth, and away we go. Simple as that. That looks like a pretty decent shot to me. Put the divot back, and then what we'll do, let's get onto the green now and show you how the 3 rules can apply to putting. And if we've got a bit of time, I'll show you how you can apply it to the chip shots around the green too. So before I go and hold my putt for birdie, I thought it'd be great just to kind of take you around the greens and show you how you can apply the 3 rules to your chipping. And this is super important. So a lot of people ask me, what club should I use around the greens? Well, it really depends on what you see the ball doing. Now, when people are chipping here, sometimes they don't get a great picture of the shot. Now, what I see here is if I was throwing a ball, I could imagine that ball kind of landing somewhere around here, rolling up the slope and rolling to the flag. So based on that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to picture a low flighted shot. Brilliant. So now what that does is, now I've got a very clear image of what I'm doing, I can now select the golf club. I've actually got a pitching wedge here. I haven't gone for my sand wedge or my lob wedge because I don't want height. I've gone for my pitching wedge. That then, look, informs my setup. Where's the ball position going to be? Well, it's going to be at the back of my stance. Why? Because I want a lower flighted shot. So the ball now, look, is at the back of my stance. I'm also stood, look, very close to it. All these things here are helping me, look, create a motion that is going to produce the shot tracer, which is a low flighted shot, to what I want. Now, so I've got my setup, I've got the shot tracer in my mind. What am I doing again? Well, I'm picturing a window now somewhere here. I'm going to try to get this ball flighting basically over this area here. What happens after that doesn't really matter. I've already kind of got a feel for the distance here with my rhythm of my swing, just like I would do with throwing a ball. And when I'm ready, I get myself set up, picture the shot, and away we go. And just release it, look. Oh, almost to the hole. So really simple, apply those 3 rules to every part of your game. Let's finish off with some putts. So once I've read the green, what I'm doing now is I've got an idea of the line that I want to play. So I'm now going to picture, again, what I'm doing. I'm picturing this ball just curving a little bit right to left. And I draw that imaginary white line all the way back to the ball, right? And what I love about this is, once I've done that and I've set myself up, I'm lining the club up. I'm not lining the club up to the target, that's too far away. I'm lining the club up to this imaginary line that I've just set here. So I visualize almost like a line right there going straight through the ball. I line myself up to that, right? Once I've done that, then what I'm doing is I'm following the line as we did before with my eyes all the way back, visualize going in the hole, back to the ball and back again. I then get a feel of the pace with the rhythm of my swing, okay? Now once I've done, most people on these shots will have a look. They'll move their head. Why? Because your target is out there. My target isn't. I've created this picture in my mind and it sits right here. So I'm picturing the ball going in the hole. I'm setting the ball off just here. I've got the rhythm of that. I don't need to look at my target anymore. And that keeps me nice and still over this ball. Not quite, but I'll take it, all right? So 3 rules: visualize the shot in detail, not the shot that you don't want to hit, by the way. Then set up to create that shot, just as we've done there. And third and finally, take the image, bring it right close to you here and put to the image right in front of you. Don't put the image out there. It's almost like Tiger talked about the windows. Put those windows to hit through right in front of you. You'll make it so much easier. It'll be just so much, I'll get it spit out in a minute. It'll be so much easier for you and more relaxing for the brain to actually achieve. Now, I promised you that I'd show you how to hit fairway woods. Check this video out right here on that one. People have, ratings on it have been absolutely incredible. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, but until next week, have a wonderful golfing week.